Well, good morning, good evening. It's a late one for some of us, but not for me anyway. Welcome back to the Easy Talk. We're going to be talking about some various topics. I think maybe the number one topic might be about coming number 29, Mr. Havertz. Has he fooled us? He's not fooling me. Fool me once, fool me twice. A third time, I might be going for it. But in the house, we've got Ralph. Ralph, how have you been keeping? It's been a long time, fella. Long time.
Hello. Yeah, it's been a while. I'm doing good. I'm excited to talk. It's nice the last few times now I've been here when things are going well. So I'm happy to be here.
Let's hope it stays that way. Put the heebie-jeebies on there, and then brother Isaac.
Hello, everyone. Been a while, but I'm back for the banger.
Yeah, and he's done his homework as well. So he's going to be throwing out some stats and everything else, but not the baby, not the baby. And last but not least, the cheeky chappy.
Hello, everyone. Good to happy to be back and to chat about the current situation of the team.
Yep, there you go. Um, are Arsenal going to do it, Ralph? Because the stats, the goals, multiple goal scorers, Kai Havertz. Are Arsenal going to win the Premier League, Ralph?
Oh, that's a big one to start, right? I thought it's called the easy talk. And you start with
I'm sorry.
If there weren't two teams called Manchester City and Liverpool, I'd say definitely yes, because look at the numbers, look at what we're doing, look at the goals at the moment, right? Just the goals per game is incredible. I mean, I can't really remember anybody putting up those kind of numbers just in terms of pure goal scoring, especially away from home, right? So when you look at it that way, you'd be very tempted to go and say yes. But then you look to I don't know if it's to your left and right, or you look up and you see Man City and Liverpool, and particularly City, they're not really playing well, but they're not losing. They're not even drawing. They keep winning games. So I think we're in for a really big battle. Somebody mentioned to me the other day that since the English football went to 3 points for a win, which is back in the early 80s, you've never had a three teams in with a chance of winning on the last day of the season. It's just never happened. So this could be the first time, right? I'm finding it hard to separate us, and I'm deliberately not answering your question because I don't know what to say. I feel though, I must say, I feel in a nice position this year of being just behind and chasing. But last year when we were in front, and it was kind of on us to keep it up and not slip up. I don't know. I feel with a younger team, this is maybe the better position to be in.
Right. Okay. All right. Didn't answer my question, but anyway, I shall pin you down. Isaac, are Arsenal Premier League champions elect waiting?
Rough dodge the bullet now is my turn. We cannot deny the fact that we are playing some good football at the moment since January. The Premier League, we all know that we've scored plenty of goals. That is 31. We only conceded 3. And of course, one of those was an own goal. That is the Liverpool game. And we have one that is against Forest, which was a Saliba mistake. So is only one goal that we've actually given away, and that is to Newcastle, to Willock. And Willock has had an habit of scoring against us or making something against us. And against Forest was Aoni, who's scoring against us all the time he plays against us. We're playing some good football at the moment, and we are I can say we are the team in form at the moment, considering the way City are playing, and neither Liverpool playing that bad, but the fact that they have a bit of casualties, that is, they have injuries here and there. I would say If we go to Etihad and beat City, then we win the league. The biggest test for me for the season is going to Etihad. If we win that game, then we win the league. Because you look at the stats, the amount of goals that we've scored away from home since January, we've scored 19 goals and only conceded 1 goal.
Wow.
At home we've scored 12 and conceded 2. So that tells you we are doing more better away since January than we are doing at home. And some may argue that we played Burnley away, Sheffield away, and we also played West Ham away and Nottingham Forest. We played 4 games away and 3 at home. It is easy to argue that we've played against very poor teams, but I would also like to say that it is because of the way we play that we've made each of those teams look that bad. That I was looking at some stats, and someone was saying that since January, that is that 2024, Arsenal are turning up to every game. It's like they know exactly what they are going to do in every game, and they are doing it so effectively. So I'm hoping we win tomorrow, go to Etihad after the international break, win that game. If we win that game, then I can comfortably say we win the Prem.
But what about all the other games? We've still got to play Tottenham. Do we have to play Chelsea? I think.
Yeah, at home.
Yeah. Who else?
We have Brighton. We have Man United. That is the second last game. And we also have Wolves also. Wolves are not a bad team.
Right.
There are quite a number of teams, but the team that the last time we beat City at their place was 2015, either 2015 or 2017, and we won by 2 goals. One was a Giroud goal and the other one was a Cazorla goal. That is the last time we won at Etihad. So if we went there and won, I will say we'll probably keep the momentum going. But if we went to City after the international break and lost, we might crumble. But winning that game will give us that confidence and that monster mentality, like, okay, if we've beaten City twice, that is at our place, and we've gone to Etihad and picked maximum points, then we can do this. I'll say that if we won that game, it will give the players a huge boost mentally, that if we have beaten the champions, then we can do this. And I'll say this, if we went to Etihad and won 1-0, that will be the biggest result of them all.
Wow, Isaac, man, you put it out there, man. Meanwhile, Alfie was shaking his head. No, Alfie.
Fool me once, yes. It happened already to us last year, and I was confident, really confident that we were gonna make it. But I think we have learned from the last 10-15 years that we can crumble at any moment. So even if we have the best team that we ever had, even if we are the happiest at the moment, no one is arguing, everything seems to be flowing, we have to wait until May. It's a difficult question. I will answer it confidently in May, not now, because it's impossible. It's just so many things can happen, especially this weekend. Because if they draw Liverpool and Man City and we win our game, then we're back on the top. So that's something that we can it can be a double-edged sword, you know, because we've been on top before, and
Yeah.
as Ralph was saying, I'd rather be the chasing one than to be on top, because I think the pressure will be too much for the boys. But yeah, there are many things. Tottenham plays everyone, you know, Man United, Chelsea, we're playing Man City. Many things can happen. So let's gonna take it game by game. Um, and I wish to, yeah, that the reality was different, that was already done and dusted, but we have to wait, sadly.
Mm-hmm. So you've been all through it, been talking about matches in the Premier League. So next week we've got a biggie, the return leg against FC Porto. Do you think, Ralph, that if Arsenal do not overcome FC Porto, that's our season done? The momentum would have gone, the confidence, or you don't see it that way, Ralph?
It's a really good point. That question, picking up from what Isaac was saying, right, about momentum and how important that kind of things can be for confidence. I don't see it. I wouldn't see it as if we were not to go through against Porto that ends the Premier League challenge. I think in a way they see it very much as two different competitions. It's the thing about knockout football is things can turn very quickly, right? And whereas with the league is more about that consistency, and that's what we've been proving with some of these results at the moment. So I don't know if it would have that definite effect. We also saw that we went out of the FA Cup to Liverpool, and then that hasn't really stopped. That could have been, a cue for us to then stop winning games in the league, and it hasn't been. It was actually, I think, if anything, it's kind of spurred us on to go to this level at the moment that we're at, with this not just scoring all the goals, also just having such a good defense at the moment, and being able to stop teams not scoring but actually creating chances, right? I think there's another stat that we have the lowest XG against us. We're just doing so well to protect the whole kind of defense from the forward line back. So I don't think, from what we saw with the Liverpool FA Cup game, I don't think if we were to lose against Porto, that would cause us to crumble or to fall away. On the other question is, right, that if we win, then we have more games, and is that a danger for the league? I don't know. I think we're in a better position than last year right now, fingers crossed, because you have Timbers coming back, Partey's just come back. We actually have having players coming back into the team, whereas this time last year, I remember it's when all the injuries started, because I think the Saliba injury, I remember that was around this time, maybe in March, or it was towards the end, and that really affected us because we didn't have any backup. Now we have Timber coming back into the team, possibly, or at least we have him as a backup should anything happen to Saliba or Gabriel, which we hope it doesn't. But I feel like we're in a better position to handle the two tournaments if we were to win and go through.
So was that a yes, Alex? Are Arsenal going to win the Premier League? I'm just asking. I have to try. and for you, Isaac, if we were to trip up Tuesday night against FC Porto, is the season done? The momentum lost, confidence gone, or you don't see it that way?
Wow. First of all, I don't see us slipping up against Porto. That is number one. It is unfortunate that we lost away to Porto the way we did. That is the last seconds. But the stats have it that at Porto we've not won a game at their place. We've only drawn once, and we've conceded 5 goals and only scored a single goal at their ground. But the stats are bright when you come to the Emirates or at Highbury. I think we played them once at Highbury before we moved to the Emirates. They haven't scored a goal at our place, and we've scored a whopping 12 goals. 12 against them, and they've scored not They have not scored a single goal against us. And just to throw it in, that in the Champions League group stages, it is only Arsenal that did not concede a goal at home. That is in the Champions League group stages. Only Arsenal. We did not concede a goal at home. And I think we can keep that up. If they don't score, that is, I don't. You see, the danger of predicting the Arsenal games is that they have given us so much confidence. As you can say, this team can go 2 goals up, 3 goals up, 5, 6 goals up. You can simply say we beat them 2-0, and then they put 6 past them. You can say we'll put 5 past them, and then they do a 2-0. And just to put it into context, we went to Lens, lost 2-1, and Lens came to our place, and we put 4 past them. And I remember the interview for the Lens head coach after that the way Arsenal were playing football was so quick, and some of the players was like it was electric that they could not keep up with the pace. This team can turn up and overturn you and run you down. And that is the danger that we are in now. It is building that confidence that the Cheeky Chappy was saying. Last season, we were so confident because of the way the team turned up, because of the way we were putting teams away, because of the way we were turning up games and destroying opponents. And right now, we could say that we'll destroy Porto, and then and the Lisbon thing comes into my mind. We went to their place, lost, and then they came to our place and we drew. And I remember that because I was so devastated by that result. But the fact that Porto has never beaten us at our ground, that gives me a bit of confidence. And that not just beaten us, that they have never...
Don't say that, because it might just happen. Don't say that.
and actually, I have a colleague of mine in the office who said Newcastle paid for a crime they did not commit. They had to pay for Porto's crimes because Porto had just beaten us. And then we came back to the Emirates and I had to punish Newcastle on behalf of Porto. And teams that have like Lens beat us away. Then they came and we punished them for having committed that crime. And I'm praying that then we punish Porto, because the way Porto played is like we played into their hands. We did not turn up into that game to win. We turned up not to lose that game. So we were very comfortable for a draw and then take the game back home. That is what we turned up for. If we had turned up like we turned up the West Ham, Burnley, Sheffield, Forest games, then we could have won away and then comfortably come home with a lead. But we went there and like, you know what? Don't lose this game. A draw is okay, and then let's go back home and do it in our own turf.
Well, Cheeky Chappy, I see you like making faces.
I'm just thinking it's like, oh, we're losing to Brentford then. Because that's what Isaac is saying. It's like we turn up after a bad game, so we're gonna have a bad game tomorrow. No. I understand what Isaac is saying, and what I like about the team is that we have responded. Like, for example, Isaac said that Newcastle paid for something that they didn't commit, but they did though, because we still feel a bit, uneasy with the decision of the first leg. Yes, and also West Ham, they knock us out from the League Cup, and then we said, okay, now we're gonna show you what we're about. And I like that kind of revenge mentality a little bit. It's like, oh, you hurt us, we're gonna hurt you a little bit more, and that's the idea. But with Champions League, I agree 100%. I think we didn't go to win that game. We didn't go with the confidence that we normally go to away games. I think maybe they might be nervous. Maybe they knew what was at stake. And Porto have been playing Champions League for the last 10 years. They also know. I mean, they have Pepe and he's like 65, something like that. So he knows those big games. He knows how to keep people under control. He knows like what it's at stake. So yeah, we have to be very very mature for it's, I'm not sure if it's Tuesday or Wednesday, but we have to make it through.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. All right. Ralph, is there anything you want to add on top of that, or shall we move on? Ralph?
Yeah, let's move on, except to say that what we should do is go out there in the first 15, 20 minutes and really go for it and not be cautious, because we've seen that being cautious didn't really help our cause. I think what we need to do is assert ourselves.
Yeah, well said. All right. This gentleman here, Kai Havertz, £65 million down the drain. I don't know how it goes. What's your thoughts about Kai Havertz, Ralph? I know you haven't been on the channel for a while, but £65 million. £65 million. But he's got like 7 goals, hasn't he, in like 20 odd appearances. Are you quite impressed with him, or you still feel a little bit shortchanged? How are you feeling about Kai Havertz?
No, I feel we're seeing what maybe we expected at the beginning when Arteta signed him, and everyone was kind of like, why have we signed him? What exactly is he going to do? And then now we've seen through the course of the season, he's been this very versatile player that adapts to different situations and kind of helps out when we need him, because the other stat on there is he has 6 yellow cards. He has 6 yellow cards because he's been playing almost like as a midfielder trying to recover the ball for the beginning of the season, and now he's getting more of a run up front, right, while Jesus is injured. So I think what we're seeing really is what Arteta was looking for, and I think it's a similar role to Trossard as well. It's like you can use this player in different places along the front line. You can use him in midfield, so this is a really useful player to have for that. If you take away the price tag, it's very, I think it's pretty similar to Trossard, and it's a really clever signing for that. Where we need to be careful, I guess, or let's hope Edu and Arteta are careful, is that he's not a replacement for a number 9, right? I don't think he is that, although he's playing there at the moment and scored some goals. We still need to find that striker, I think. But I think what we're seeing with Havertz is he's doing really well in that quite difficult job as a footballer, where you have to go in different positions in different times of the season and do a job there.
Not worth 65, or worth the £65 million for you, Ralph?
I think he's probably worth it because there's a value on the versatility. There's not that many players that you can equip for different positions. So it's almost like you've bought 2 players in one by having him. Instead of having to spend 30 million on one sub up front and one sub in midfield, you've actually spent 65 on one person who can do both and has started quite a lot of games.
Okay. And for you, Isaac, is this where you've done your homework on Kai Havertz, or?
John the Guna sent us an apology form to fill for Kai Havertz. And each of there were reasons that we should each one of us pick why we doubted him. But he's playing like he was playing in Leverkusen, that is, and I'm happy, and I actually am one of the critics because I criticized him and the way he played. But he's scored 3 in 3. And he's had five goal contributions in the last 3 games, and he's had 5 goals, 5 assists. That is a total of 10 goal contributions. And we could attribute it to so many things. Number one, the team is playing so well, and he's in that team that is free flowing and putting goals past opponents like they mean business. And it is highly unlikely that he'll miss goals in a team that is playing the way we are playing at the moment. And Havertz is a player who could win you big games and cost you in very simple games. He could miss very open chances, like the West Ham game. He missed an open chance, and I was praying that okay, you went through. Then I was praying that there be an offside flag so that he saves him, but there was no offside flag. It's like he missed a sitter. He was through, and he missed that. That is what he missed, and he could win you very big games. He could. He can be a match decider in an Arsenal versus City game, because actually in the first leg, he's the one who set up Martinelli for that goal, although it was a deflection. He can play so well in big games. Okay. the media itself did not give him credit. It's like we are all expecting him to flop. We were all expecting that to happen. And at the beginning of it all, he started playing like he was flopping, and it was playing into our hands. But at the moment, he's not showing that he's flopping, but I believe he's actually exactly what Arteta wanted. Perhaps Arteta has proven us wrong, but I'm waiting till the end of the season and see what he's given us, because we are not going to judge ourselves or to judge our performances at the end of the season that we played so well, we finished second. I'm going to judge our performances on what do we have on our hands. What trophy do we have? What did you contribute to this trophy? Like when he was at Chelsea, I remember he scored the winning goal against City in the Champions League. If he does that, then I'll say he's exactly what Arteta needed. And I'll not say that we do not need a striker long term. We do need a striker long term, an established and proven striker long term. Because at the moment, it's just the system clicked. What about when things are hard? Because I believe before Dubai, teams had analyzed Arsenal, and they knew how to lock us down. They knew that double up against Martinelli, double up against Saka, and then we are done. Mm-hmm. But after Dubai, they tweaked the system a little bit, that if you double up against Martinelli and Saka, then we are going to go through you. Mm-hmm. Because we will not totally depend on the wings. We'll go through you, or we bring in Jorginho, who play the ball over the top. And that is how we've managed to outscore some of the teams. And I was listening to the press conference against the Brentford coach. He's one of the managers who knows how to lock down Arsenal. When you listen to him, analyze how we play, he knows how we play. He does. And he actually gave something away in the press conference if Arteta was watching that. He said they have to press high and they have to sit deep. So they will be doing that in moments. They know when we have the ball, at some point they will have to press. And if they cannot really press us, if we are playing through them, they'll have to sit deep and wait for the counters. But the system, the way it is at the moment, it is hard to beat Arsenal on the counter. So they'll have to go toe to toe, pressing high and giving their 100%. Because I remember I told someone, I remember telling a friend of mine that if Burnley turn up and play the way they play, I actually remember I was on the show before the Burnley game actually, and I
That's right.
said this.
Yeah.
And I said, if Burnley turn up and play the way they play, that is open football, we are going to demolish them. And they turned up and they played open football, and we did demolish them. So if Brentford turn up tomorrow and play that open football, then I'm afraid we'll punish them. But if they put their 100%, press high, and sit deep in some moments, then we are going to have a game. Because we've actually, if we've gone, if we do not have a goal in the first leg, then the second leg, if you analyze our games against Brentford, if we have the first leg, we went no goal. Second leg, probably we have a goal. We've not gone 2 legs without a goal in either of the legs, and we won 1-0 at their place,
Yeah.
and they are coming to the Emirates, and I can see there is going to be a goal. Okay, in the Prem that is the start in the Prem. Okay.
Yeah, and 1 League Cup.
No goal, no goal, no goal. Then I can see we will have a goal tomorrow. We're going to concede a goal, but if we have to win, we have to outscore them.
Well, John Guna has put a comment in the live chat that Ivan Toney will have a point to prove against Arsenal, and he's itching or twerking for a move. I'm not sure what he means by that. But Alfie, Kai Havertz. I know you've been a ardent critic of Kai Havertz. £65 million.
Yeah, he's not worth it. People don't like to hear it, but that's the truth. Like, it's because we're winning, and even if I put my boots on, I will be okay in that position. He doesn't run. He doesn't go to the spaces. I mean, he has gained a lot of confidence, I believe. I think
Yeah.
he's good at the moment. But for me, a good footballer is the one that, is good at all times with the club. And for example, if you compare with Santi Cazorla, with Alexis Sanchez, even when we were going through the rough times, they were still performing at the highest level. So I think if Kai Havertz would have come 3 years ago when we were not that good, he would not even be on the bench, because he has to be confident, and he has to wait for the team to be balanced before he can perform. And that's not something that is going to happen all the time. And I think with that money we should have gotten a much better player. I mean, he's doing what he's supposed to do, and don't get me wrong, I like his contributions to the team, and he hasn't cost us games in a way that, yes, he misses chances, but he doesn't give the ball away cheaply. Even though he's on a yellow card, he doesn't get like silly red cards and stuff like that. I think he's defensively quite aware, but even better than Shaka sometimes. But I have to say that it's not the same like Zinchenko, that you could say that sometimes he has cost us games, because at the end of the game he gets a bit distracted or he gives the ball away cheaply. But I don't think he's a player of the value for 65.
But you know what, Ralph? I think no matter what, Mikel Arteta was determined to try and prove that he made the right decision by buying Kai Havertz for £65 million. I mean, I love Leonardo Trossard. I mean, when was the last time we had a player left foot confident, right foot confident, and couldn't even header the ball? And he's not the tallest of players. But I think Mikel Arteta was determined to prove to the fan base that he made the right choice by buying Kai Havertz for £65 million. No matter what.
Yeah, because there's a reason he pushed through and spent so much money, because you also know when you're buying a player from the Premier League, you're paying that extra tax, right? Because you're buying from a league that's already expensive, and you're buying from a rival, or they used to be a rival, Chelsea, but now they're nowhere near us. But you're paying some of that extra fee, and he's making that. He's really trying to make that work and prove it. I mean, I think because also what I would guess the big change he made this year was by bringing in Rice. We suddenly were playing with one holding midfielder instead of we traditionally had two, and so he needed somebody in that balance in that role. And I guess he felt that Havertz was the person that could understand that role quickest and best for him. But I do see your point that sometimes with managers is they seen something in this player that they like, and they're gonna keep going until they make it work.
Yeah. It's just that Alfie can't see it.
I can't see it. It's just that I don't know. Sometimes, like when you see him, you get frustrated because he's not as quick as the others, but the other ones are very, very quick. So yeah, I mean, if we win anything, it's worth it. I will say that. Because as John is saying, Arteta will die on the Kai Havertz hill.
Yeah.
He made the sacrifice. He stuck with the guy. He gave him the games. He's started always. So if we win it, he's right.
Could be.
There's a proverb in my country that says you don't kill your own. So Arteta will not kill his own.
Yeah. He's adamant that Kai Havertz is the person or the player that he wanted at £65 million. Anyway, let's go into the live chat for the first time on this particular Easy Talk. And John Gula says, believe what? What? That what? I don't know. What does he mean? What do you mean, John? What? Believe we're going to win the Premier League?
The double, he means.
The double. Oh, right. Okay. Okay. Let's go on. Junior Martin says, I'm sure teams will be scared to play Arsenal right now because of how well winning 7 on the bounce, 31 goals, Arsenal peaking at the right time. I think they peaked too early last season. That messed with the team. Really? Did we peak too soon last season? First and foremost, there was no pressure on us. Secondly, no one knew that we would have gone so far. But did we peak too early, Isaac, last season?
Last season, we just surprised everyone the way we were playing, because we turned up to play 100% in each game. But you cannot do that all season. And then we had a bit of injuries. But this season, we did not just kick like we were doing last season. And I remember us in the show saying that we are not playing free-flowing football in one of the Easy Talks like we were doing last season. If Arteta was preserving that for the second leg and win all the games in the second leg, then I'll take my hat off for Arteta and say, congrats, man, you've done it. Because you realize you go full force. You cannot do that in 38 games, and you are in other competitions. If you do that, you having Martinelli, Saka sprinting 100%, and then you could be having so many injuries, that is hamstrings here and there. But if he reserved that for the second leg, then congrats to him. We just surprised everyone last season. Actually, we even surprised ourselves. We did not expect to do that better. Actually, if you ask everyone, beginning of last season, where are we going to finish? Nobody will have put us second.
Yeah.
We are all going perhaps fourth or fifth. That is where we were. Perhaps they are fourth because we wanted to play in the Champions League, because we do not want to go back to Europa League. So majority of us will have had us in fourth place. But this season, the good thing is we are not chasing. Last season we were being chased, but this season we are doing the chasing now. And I'm happy that we are doing the chasing. We are not looking over our shoulders at who is coming. It is advantageous to us because there is no much pressure on our shoulders like it was last season. You have that much pressure on young players, and they maybe in their minds are like, what if we don't win this game? What if we draw this game? And this right now we are like, just play our game the way we've been playing and get your results. And it could be possible that this weekend, if we win our game, that is tomorrow, we are guaranteed second. If we win a game tomorrow, we are guaranteed second until the end of the break, because we win, we go fast. Yes. If Man City and Liverpool draw, which is highly unlikely, because I believe someone will win that game. If they draw, then we go to 64 points with Liverpool, but fast because of goal difference. And if Man City win that game, they go fast. If Liverpool win that game, they go fast, but will remain second. If either of them win, we'll remain second. If they draw, we go fast. But I can see a Man City win, they go fast. After the international break, we win and go fast.
But Isaac, very quickly, so I understand what you're saying. Personally, I would prefer if Arsenal had the points already in the bag. If you're saying to me that the pressure got to us because we had to hold on to the lead, well, you kind of counteracted your argument, because if we do go and we win, we'll be on top of the Premier League.
Sure.
And we have to hold on to that. We have the pressure again.
With much experience. With much more experience.
Okay.
And it is Raf who said that last season, it is at this point that we had injuries.
Yeah.
But the good thing this season, that we having players coming back from injury. We have Timber coming back, Tomiyasu coming back, and we have Pate coming back, we have Zichenko coming back in a couple of days. And like, for instance, in the left back, right now you have Kivio, who's playing really well. And then you have Timber, you have Tomiyasu who can play there, and you have Zichenko coming back. And then that is one hell of a job, having to select one player out of four who is playing there. You cannot just sit Kivio down because the others have come back the way he's playing. He's a dynamite. And then you have Timber who can invert the way you want, but you cannot just sit Kivio and he's done nothing wrong. And then you have Zichenko, who's made mistakes at some point that has cost us. You don't just bring him back in. And then you have Tomiyasu, who uses his right foot, who can defend better against a left-footed player like Mo Salah, who will cut on the inside. And then you have one tough job to select a single player to play in that position.
Yeah. Ralph, can this team win the Premier League? I'm just asking, man. Just asking.
Back again. The way Isaac's talking it up now, we could win it with just left backs. We don't even need anybody else. We got everybody. Is it? It's looking nice talking about this. The one thing I would say about this weekend, and we're talking about if we're first and that kind of thing, I still feel it's different to last season because it's not a big lead, right? We'd be
Yeah,
first by like a point. So I think it's still very much close. Last year when that gap was getting wider, that was maybe even more dangerous in a way for us.
yeah, yeah. Alfie, is there anything you want to say on top of what we've just spoken about?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be tight until the end.
Yeah,
Regardless if one of the teams gets a little bit relegated, maybe us, maybe Liverpool, maybe Man City, the difference is not gonna be a lot. It's gonna be 1 or 2 points at the end, and we have to win as much as possible. I don't mind, and this is controversial, and I said this before. I don't mind losing to City. I don't mind losing to, I mean, Man United. But for me, at the end of the day, you cannot lose against the lesser teams. Those games we have to get done quickly. Same thing with as we did with Liverpool, with West Ham. We just go first 20 minutes full go and secure the games from the beginning, because those are not the games that cost you. Are the, Brentfords, are the Brightons. Those are the games that end up costing you. But at the moment, we have to get a result in every single game. We have to even try to draw. We have to, basically, the mentality has to be to win it. And I think we can do it, because if you look at consistency, we are kind of the best team at the moment. With that being said, we're still Arsenal. We've
yeah.
been here before. Um, so yeah, it's complicated, but I think we can make it. Hopefully.
Okay. Back in the live chat, John says the trouble with Kai, he was a Chelsea reject. We couldn't see past that. Is that true, Ralph? The fact that he came from Chelsea, and we know there's been a bucket load of Chelsea players coming from Chelsea to Arsenal. Was that the main reason why we view him so negatively?
It's a good point. It could be like trauma, right? We have this unintentional kind of trauma that comes from, let's think of Willian maybe, or going back in time to Galas, or
Peter
maybe,
Check.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So and now, but what we're seeing is the opposite, right? With Kai Havertz and Jorginho, we're actually like, I think we've got the better of these deals. So, but it's a good point. Maybe we're a bit scarred mentally.
Yeah, well said actually. And actually, for me, Jorginho has played so well. In the absence of Thomas Partey, really, really well. And I chose him for my man of the match for the last 2 games. Jorginho, ex-Chelsea player. My goodness. Anyway, DWTT Gary says hello, hello. There is an echo in the chamber. And John says, even Gary, well said Isaac. Well, Isaac said a lot of things, actually. He did his homework. I'll agree Kai is a bit of a luxury. Is he a luxury player? Is he a luxury player?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And like I've said before, Arteta is determined to die on the Havertz hill. Are any of them worth that money, really, Alfie?
Um, Depends who he's referring to, but I can see players who are worth 65. Trossard, for example, even though he doesn't start, he was definitely worth the money. Havertz, he was worth 180. I don't know. That guy has completely changed Arsenal. Like, he came and like, oh yeah, you play Havertz, I take care of the defense. Don't worry. So yeah, but we still have to be careful with injuries and stuff. Like, for example, the last game where Martinelli had a little cut. People start freaking out, or I've always said it, if something happens to Odegaard, yeah, I don't think we our football will flow as much as normally would. So I think we still need to start getting players to compete with those positions. Um, and big teams have 2 players per position, and I think we have done that quite well at the back. We have to look for, yeah, definitely a striker and maybe another winger, another midfielder.
Okay. And actually, on that, Ralph, if you had an open checkbook and you had a choice of any player across, the leagues in Europe, which position do you think Arsenal need to upgrade on?
I think we need a forward. We need another forward in terms of a central strike. No, I think I don't. I'm going to change. I think we need a winger. I think we need a winger because we are so reliant on Martinelli and Saka. They're playing so many minutes. We have Trossard who fits in and does a great job, but I think we need one more there that could go in there.
Right. Okay. Nothing in defence. No. Nothing in midfield.
I think. No, I think. Well, I mean, in midfield, maybe I'd look at somebody. I don't know how long Jorginho can go on for example, playing the way he is. Defense, I think we're pretty solid. I think this is the best. Looking at it, this is the best kind of squad depth defense we've had in a long time.
Okay. And for you, Isaac, open checkbook. Which positions are you going to upgrade on?
On the goalkeeper.
Say again.
He's saying goalkeeper.
The goalkeeper, so we can add another problem.
For me, I have striker. I have 3 positions: striker, Saka backup, and Saliba backup.
Good shout. Good shout. Yeah. And Alfie, finally for you, open checkbook.
I think Ben White can replace Saliba, at least temporarily. If that were to happen, hopefully no. Let's not jinx anything. But I think another midfielder and definitely a goal scorer, because Jesus is injury prone. He's too injured all the time, and he's not reliable enough. So I don't know. I would love to get a player like Osimhen or someone that it's a difficult game. You're 1-0 down. That he just says, just throw it to me. I will figure it out.
Yeah.
Alfie, you're saying White can replace Saliba momentarily?
No, but it's not that bad. It's not like
how will White do against Haaland?
Yeah, but it's not like Mustafi Koscielny situation,
Okay.
Those were the good old bad days. No bad days. Do you know what? I didn't even get to ask any of them for a prediction for the Brentford game. Do you want to give me a prediction, Ralph? No.
Oh, I'll go. It's been really interesting. Both teams are scoring lots of goals. Not scoring lots of goals. They're involved in games with lots of goals. And Brentford have been on the wrong side mostly. I think we'll win 2-1. I think both teams will score, and I think we'll come out on top.
Okay. And for you, Alfie?
We're going to win 3-0 tomorrow and 3-0 on Tuesday.
Okay. And for you, Isaac? Did you just say 3-0 on Tuesday? 3-0 on Tuesday. Sorry, Isaac.
Raf just took my prediction, which was a 2-1. Stick with a 2-1, and I'll stick with a 3-0 on Tuesday.
I'm recording this, fellas. I'm recording this.
You can, and you will play me back.
I'll play it back. Do you know what? We've come to an end on this Easy Talk, which was a fairly well-balanced Easy Talk, and listening to Ralph, Brother Isaac, and of course the cheeky chappy Alfie. 3-0 on Tuesday. No.
Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. When you come over to England, if it is 3-0, I'll buy you a pint.
Well, let's go.
All right. All right. So the next time you will see me will be tomorrow for the instant post-game reaction. Arsenal versus Brentford. Let's hope Arsenal do not get stung by the bees. That's what I'm saying. Ralph, thank you very much for giving us your time. Say hello to your family from everyone on Channel 4 TV. Ralph?
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure as always.
Brilliant. Brother Isaac, I hope your daughter gets better. I can hear her coughing in the background. I hope she feels better.
Yeah. So it's been a pleasure being on. I hope I scored a brace, if not a hat trick.
Yeah, well.
Hope to come back.
Let me speak to
again.
the manager. off the bench. And Alfie, 3-0 Chicky Chappy. Alfie, thank you very much for coming back on the Easy Talk, man.
Don't worry. Thank you for the invite. Always a pleasure, and hopefully we will see each other soon.
Brilliant. And that's it. This has been Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world.